crucial day for the people of Osun State. They waited, they voted, they were at the campaign grounds, they went in search of candidates across 48 political parties. They came for an election, but today INEC says that election is inconclusive because the margin of vote between the two top contenders is smaller than the votes that are cancelled in this race. So that is the premise. So there is a date for a supplementary election. So let's get more perspective. This time around, we'll be getting political perspective, and we will be getting perspective from the two main political parties that are slugging it out based on the figures that we have. Joining me tonight on the program is a chieftain of the APC in Osun State, Mr. Bola Iloru. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Yes, and also the head of communication, strategy and communication for the Senator Ademola Adeleke campaign organization, Mr. Bamdele Salam, joins us on the program also. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Sean. Good evening.
Let me first and foremost, you are the incumbent party. Yeah. How does this is a loss for your party. How does this come to you?
For us, it's part of the democratic experience that we're building. And if you have looked at the approach and attitude of our government, it has been to promote democracy and to promote peaceful coexistence amongst all the strata. So it's an expression of the democratic right of the citizen of the state of Osun.
Are you surprised by the pattern of votes that you saw?
Surely, I must acknowledge that because, yes, we know that this is a multifaceted contest, which is not the usual pattern you used to have, where this is about the largest turnout of contestants for a single election. In fact, the ballot had to be in three columns, which is the first of its kind in recent time. So you have so many contestants coming out. The interest in the election has been massive. So we knew that you might not have that huge gap, but that we will get to this point was something we were not really looking at.
The PDP, the chairman of the party, has condemned the declaration of inconclusive election by INEC, and also Senator Yolo Mishore has also come out to say there were issues of vote buying in this election. What are your immediate reactions to that?
Well, PDP, as an interested party, must of course come to where they feel their bread is buttered. But that may not be the reality of the situation. If you look at it, everybody, looking at the pattern of vote, Osogbo remains stronghold of APC. And they could not vote in one of the units. If that unit alone has voted, the result might not be what has happened. Because they could not vote because somebody went away with the materials. Now, issue of overvoting also occurred because I listened to Idausa when he was speaking. Maybe he's not conversant with the fact of the matter. Issue of overvoting in Ife North. While I may not ascribe it to Senator Yola Omishore, but you know that happens to also be in his own area. That might not have affected his own fortune, assuming the votes there were done properly. But it will have serious impact on APC and PDP because of the narrowness of the margin. So any little variance becomes highly significant. And that is what has happened in this particular election.
Mr. Salam, does this outcome come to you as a surprise?
Well, Chima, I want to tell you we're not surprised at all. You remember that a few days before the election, I was on this station, on the program, where we made allegations and told the whole world the desperate plans of the All Progressive Congress to thwart the peaceful and credible conduct of the Osun governorship election. We knew from the outset that the APC would want to hold on to power at all costs. And that's exactly what is manifesting in this governorship election. So I want to tell you that the fact that the election held yesterday itself was a miracle. The fact that it was peaceful in most of the polling units was a miracle. And the fact that eventually is a miracle because
expecting violence?
Because the APC had set out to disrupt the election in most polling units in connivance with the Independent National Electoral Commission.
But what are your plans? What are your evidence?
No, they are there. Sure.
Okay,
let me tell you. If we didn't see what happened before then, now let's take what happened during the election yesterday. After the computation of votes, there were clear cases of manipulation of votes in several local governments, especially 6 local governments identified by the PDP, which the chairman, the agent of the PDP raised at the collation point. If it is local government, body by local government, Aida was very significant because even on your own station, you had the picture of this INEC official who was told to go and tear off the Form EC 869E, which was the publication of results from the local government. That local government alone cost 1,000 votes, cut out 1,000 votes from the vote ascribed to the PDP, which have been published on all major blogs, including the Chinese television. Now, you're talking about violence. Who were the perpetrators of the violence? How many of those who perpetrated the violence that led to the cancellation of election in units have been apprehended by the police? Let me give you an example in the local government. A serving official of the local government was fingered as the man who led hoodlums to the polling unit to cut away ballot boxes shooting into the air. Has he been arrested? What happened to the cancellation of the vote in Osun local government where INEC officials absconded with card readers? Who were the people who encouraged them to take that route of illegality? It was all an execution of a pre-planned means of making sure that the election did not hold creditably. And we are going to take it up at all levels, including the legal level.
Mr. Salam,
yes,
your party is leading in this race, and you still feel strongly that something went wrong.
The truth,
you perhaps have not. No,
the truth actually,
I'm putting a fact to you. Monitoring and covering elections, this is perhaps the closest that you have ever seen 2 candidates come. Over 300 votes that is separating both of them.
So let me tell you, at the end of collation, PDP was leading with more than 5,000 votes. And they began to bring out all these tricks to the extent that at a point, it was glaring that they had all manner of arithmetical abracadabra performed. And that brought it to 353. But this is 353. I want to tell you on the value of the Nigerian Constitution, there is already a winner of that election. And that winner is Senator Nuri Ademola Adeleke of the PDP.
Are you challenging that in court?
Oh, most definitely. Because I'm happy.
Is your party going to...
Most of the points... I'm coming to that.
No,
most
is your
of the
party going to contest
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Most of the points already, I would have mentioned, were raised by my learned friend, Honorable Idausa. The Nigerian Constitution is supreme to any rule, regulation, or guideline of the INEC. Section 1, subsection 3 of the Constitution says if any law conflicts with the express provision of the Constitution, it remains invalid. Section 179 has given us the exact criteria, requirement for being declared the winner of an election. Majority of votes cast in the election and scoring a quarter of the votes cast in 2/3 of the local government. In 20 local government. Incidentally, Senator Adeleke has the majority of votes cast. He has the 2/3 of votes cast in 30 local government of Osun State.
All right.
And there are many deciding cases. So there is a real...
Let's make it a conversation. So I just wanted you to answer quickly.
Yeah.
Is your party going to contest Thursday election?
All options are on the table. We're going to take a decision very shortly. All options are on the table.
Because you are condemning the...
of course, it's condemned because it's illegal.
But would your party be contesting?
All options are on the table, Sean.